Hey everybody, this is Jack Rainmaker and Flipping Las Vegas, and I thought that today I would give you an update. It's Friday, April 27th, and I thought I'd give you an update on what's going on with the Las Vegas real estate market, especially the last couple of weeks. As you may or may not know, I work with the MLS on a daily basis, and I know exactly how many deals come on market, how many deals have price decreases, how many deals come back on the market, which actually is quite a few. So for example, today, so far anyway, in the last 24 hours, there have been about 170, 180 new actives added in terms of new listings. And what's interesting to me is that there are about 100 or so price reductions, okay? And then there's almost another 100 or so back on the markets. So what does this all mean? Well, actually, if you really look at it, a couple of different things. Number one, there's new inventory coming on the market, which is absolutely fantastic. We need inventory because supply has been down, demand has been up, right? And whenever you have more demand than supply, prices go up. But then there's a secondary effect with that, is that you get sellers coming into the market who aren't what I call real sellers. Essentially, I break it down to there's two kinds of sellers out there. There are people who have to sell. Maybe they're in a foreclosure. Maybe they have equity. Maybe they don't have equity. Maybe they're upside down, so they have to do a short sale. Then there are people who sell because of divorce, right? There are people who sell because of inheritance. They inherited some property as a result of a family member passing on and they want to sell the property. Sometimes people sell because there's a change in financial condition. They lost their job and they need to downgrade, or they got more money, they got a promotion, got a better job, and they want to upgrade, okay? And then of course there are the sellers who got a job transfer and need to move somewhere else to another part of the country. These are what I call the serious sellers, okay? And serious sellers are serious about selling their home, okay? Then the other type of seller is what I call the fisher. Hey, I'm fishing, you know what? And those are the people who price their homes ridiculously high, okay? I went and saw a couple, it was an off-market deal. They had previously priced their home at a price that was even more than new construction that was being sold in the area. And so in other words, for the same amount of money that they wanted for their old, worn out house, okay, I could buy a brand new house with everything I wanted that nobody had ever lived in. But it was a husband and wife with some children, but it was the wife's house, so to speak. It was her decision, and that's the price that she wanted. Now, they were living in the house, and so the bottom line essentially is, hey, if I can get $300,000 on my $200,000 house, I'll take it, right? So these are what I call people who are fishing. And there are a lot of sellers who are out there fishing. And then because everybody knows, oh, wow, the market's hot, price is going up by 6%, 8%, whatever it might be, it's gone crazy. Even your regular sellers, now the people who have to sell, okay, are inflating their prices as well. And essentially when I have a conversation with them, I'm saying, well, wait a minute, you know what? Your home's kind of overpriced by about $20,000 or so dollars. Their response is, well, I have to have some negotiating room. You have to have some wiggle room. Oh, okay, all right. So I guess my overall message to everybody here is buyer beware. But then this leads me to the second part of the conversation, which is now, of course, you're seeing houses coming back on the market. Now, some of that back on markets are legitimate. Sometimes a job transfer doesn't come through. Sometimes I've even known of the husband leaving the wife right before closing, somebody losing their job, not qualifying for financing, you know, whatever it might be. Okay, there are a lot of reasons why deals fall through. Okay, maybe it didn't appraise. Maybe some things came out when there was the inspection. And so, but I mean, for 100 houses a day or 80 houses or 90 houses a day to come back on market, that's pretty strong. And then the other element is price reductions. Oh my gosh. If you get 180 new coming on market, and then every day you've got about 100 or so going through price reduction, what does that tell you? The people who have to sell have overpriced their homes. Really, really. So the overall message here for everybody here in Las Vegas is, if you're currently buying in Las Vegas and you're a regular, what I call citizen, in other words, you're not an investor who knows what they're doing, buyer beware. Don't pay too much. How much is too much? Well, that's a great question. The challenge is you have a realtor who's representing you, but at the end of the day, that realtor's looking at their 3% commission, right? Okay? Okay? Now, the seller pays for that commission. You pay for it, really, at the end of the day, because it's built into the price of the home, right? Okay, so if a seller is selling a $200,000 house, they're going to net at the end of the day about $184,000, $185,000 after transfer tax, after commissions and everything else. Okay, so and they're passing that cost on to you. You know, there's no such thing as a free lunch. So just because the seller pays the commission, it doesn't mean you're not paying the commission. You are paying the commission because you're paying the commission in the form of a higher price to make up for the commissions and everybody else that's being paid. Okay, so do your homework, do your research, educate yourself on what other homes are selling for in the area. I'll give you an example. I just put an offer in on a short sale. Now, that short sale was listed on the MLS at 3:49 in the afternoon, yesterday afternoon. Okay, short sale. I emailed the offer this morning at about 7 o'clock to the listing agent. Listing agent read my email immediately, responded back, oh, the seller has already accepted an offer. Wow, that was fast. So here's a message for sellers. If your property is priced ridiculously low, and this property actually is a pretty good deal, and I actually offered for a change more than list price, okay? If you're getting offers in like crazy, okay, there should be a minimum amount of time that you should wait for all the offers to come through the door. Now, I'm doing myself a disservice, right? Because I don't want you to do that. I want you to take my offer immediately, okay? But the smart seller will wait at least a week to 10 days to get all the offers in, then review all of the offers. Because sometimes it does take that amount of time for it to trickle through the system. Now, obviously, your agent is going to point you into the direction that he or she thinks you should go, what they think is the best deal. And I know of agents who have actually downed, or what's that word, dissed, right? Investors, saying investors don't follow through, they might do this, they might do that. I think you should take this offer over here because it's their buddy's buyer, right? Or they have a relationship with the buyer, okay? So if you're a homeowner, especially in a hot market, okay, if I'm a homeowner in a hot market, I would wait 7 to 8 to 9 days, even 10 days before accepting an offer. I want everything to come through. Now, I'm hurting myself as an investor because I want you to take my offer immediately that I make it, okay? But this is for regular citizens out there who can get hurt. So bottom line is, I made an offer on the house this morning. The house is already under contract. I have no idea what the dollar amount of under contract is, that it got under contract for. It's a short sale, but I guarantee you that it's less than the amount that my offer was. I know, wouldn't that be terrible? I mean, I've looked at deals that I've made offers on, and in some instances, my offers, when the product was actually sold, when the house actually sold, in some instances, the house or the price that it was sold at was less than my offer, which kind of makes you wonder. Anyway, so Las Vegas real estate market, absolutely crazy hot right now. A lot of stuff is overpriced. There are still some deals out there, but you have to really be turning over rocks, okay? So my advice to you as a buyer beware, be careful, price everything out, don't pay too much. My advice to you as a seller, give yourself time. Your agent's going to want to rush you to make an offer because most agents I know work paycheck to paycheck or live paycheck to paycheck. Okay? So they're going to want you to take the offer so you can close as quickly as possible so they can get that commission check as quickly as possible. It's the opposite. You want to wait. You want to bide your time. This market's not going to change anytime soon. Sure, there's some things in the news come up. Mortgage rates are going to go up and so on and so forth. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, okay? Demand is still much higher than supply. Sellers are in the driver's seat. Now, it doesn't mean that your list price is not, or that the list price is not overinflated. It probably is, okay? So as a buyer beware, don't overpay. As a seller, take your time in accepting offers. This is Jack Rainmaker, Flipping Las Vegas.